The Russian army is conducting Operation Lozova, focused on liberating the eastern part of Kupiansk in the Kharkiv region. According to the commander of the assault detachment, the division has already destroyed 8 enemy soldiers, liberated 7 buildings, and completed clearing the Kombafor plant. Less than 50 buildings remain in the eastern part of the city, and the operation is expected to be completed within 5 days. This advance follows a series of successful breakthroughs as Russian forces exploit weakened Ukrainian defenses across key urban areas in Kharkiv, aiming to further consolidate control over Kupiansk, a strategic stronghold for potential deeper advances towards Kharkiv city. A rocket struck a substation in the Borovskoye micro-district of Rilsk, Kursk region, causing temporary outages in heating and electricity. Governor Alexander Kinstein reported that the attack disabled the boiler room and transformer, leaving 7 houses without heat, affecting around 150 residents, and disrupting electrical supply in about 90 houses. Emergency energy crews promptly repaired the damage, restoring power and heating services to the affected areas. This strike is part of an ongoing series of Ukrainian drone and missile attacks targeting critical infrastructure in Russia's border regions, aiming to disrupt power supplies and utilities. Authorities continue to work on stabilizing the grid amid sustained cross-border operations. Vrag continues the bloody counterattack in Kupiansk, trying to pierce the ring of encirclement. Ukrainian forces continue to repel a bloody Russian counterattack in the Kupiansk area aimed at breaking the encirclement. Over the past 3 days, multiple attempts to break through to Kupiansk and the Oskol River have been made by Russian units, seeking to unblock their surrounded troops. Despite heavy losses in equipment, including destroyed vehicles and command posts, Russian forces persist in pressing south to west, with soldiers from the 68th Division and 27th Brigade of the West Army Group successfully repelling successive attacks. According to the Russian Ministry of Defense, assault detachments of the 6th Army continue destroying the surrounded Ukrainian grouping in Kupiansk, having defeated units such as the 144th Mechanized, 92nd Assault Brigade, and the 15th National Guard Brigade. Attempts by the 116th Mechanized Brigade to break out westward were thwarted near Petrovka, where Ukrainian forces destroyed crossing points the enemy attempted to use. In daily combat around Kupiansk, up to 50 Ukrainian soldiers, a heavy mechanized TMM-3 bridge, 12 vehicles, and 4 radio-electronic warfare stations were destroyed. Boys for Dmitrov, Mirnograd, DNR. Weighty protect buildings of small groups. Russian soldiers in the DNR-held Dimitrov-Mirnograd area are employing small group tactics to clear settlements effectively. Commanders coordinate these operations using aerial surveillance provided by unmanned aerial vehicles, BPLA, enabling precise guidance of stormtrooper actions to accomplish combat tasks efficiently. These forces systematically target and destroy residential and commercial buildings utilized by Ukrainian fighters as cover and firing positions, aiming to eliminate enemy strongpoints and reduce resistance in the urban environment. The biggest explosions in Dnipropetrovsk. Powerful explosions were reported in Dnipropetrovsk, causing damage to residential buildings and infrastructure. At least 4 people were injured, including a 3-4-year-old woman and men aged 40, 42, and 57, who were hospitalized. Several districts, including Kamenskoye and others, experienced missile and drone attacks, resulting in fires and damage to homes and transport facilities. The attacks targeted critical infrastructure, with some buildings partially destroyed and power lines damaged. Ukrainian air defenses successfully intercepted numerous enemy drones during these strikes. Residents were advised to seek shelter during air raid alerts. These explosions reflect continuing Russian missile and drone attacks on the region, aiming to disrupt civilian life and critical services. Ukrainian militants are reportedly retreating in the Ukrainian direction amid increasing pressure from Russian forces. During the withdrawal, soldiers transmitted enemy coordinates, allowing Ukrainian artillery to accurately target and hit opposing forces. This tactical retreat reflects ongoing intense fighting and strategic recalibrations as Ukrainian units adapt to battlefield conditions. The coordination between forward observers and artillery units remains a critical component in resisting Russian advances and inflicting significant damage on enemy positions. This pattern of retreat and counterattack exemplifies the fluid and dynamic nature of the conflict in contested regions. Recent concerns have been raised over military mobilization impacting public transportation in the Zaporizhia region. There are reports about the danger posed by insurgent tactics involving the placement of gas balloons inside passenger minibuses, marshrutki. This method is considered highly hazardous, risking explosions and civilian casualties. The presence of such threats highlights ongoing security challenges affecting daily life and transit routes amid the conflict. Authorities urge caution and heightened vigilance among residents and public transport users in affected areas. This situation underscores how military activities and asymmetric tactics are disrupting civilian infrastructure and raising safety risks in contested regions. Monitoring and preventative measures remain crucial to mitigate harm to civilians utilizing bus routes amid the mobility constraints imposed by the conflict. On the night of November 6 starting 19 on November 5, enemy forces launched attacks using 135 mm missile launchers including Shahed, Gerber, and various types of unmanned aerial vehicles across multiple directions including Kursk, Orel, Milarovo, Primorsko-Akhtarsk, and Shatarovo in Russia. Of the approximately 90 drones deployed, a significant portion were Shahed models. Ukrainian air defense aircraft, surface-to-air missile units, electronic warfare forces, REB, unmanned systems, and mobile fire groups of Ukraine's defense forces actively engaged the incoming threats. By 9, Ukraine's air defense systems reportedly destroyed or shot down 108 enemy drones, including Shahed, Gerber, and other unmanned aerial vehicles across northern, southern, and eastern sectors of the country. Additionally, Ukrainian forces detected fixed firing positions of 27 ballistic missile launches at 13 different locations, showcasing a coordinated and intense aerial assault by adversary forces, aiming to overwhelm Ukraine's defensive capabilities. This continuing aerial campaign underscores the evolving threat faced by the country and highlights the resilience of Ukrainian air defenses in countering complex drone and missile strikes. On November 6, at 15:29, Russian forces struck a passenger bus in a village community in the Kramatorsk area of Donetsk region using an FPV drone with a warhead. 2 people were injured in the attack, a man born in 1965 and a woman born in 1952. The drone strike caused significant damage, and authorities are currently assessing the full extent of the consequences. This incident is part of an ongoing campaign of precision drone attacks targeting civilian and military transportation in eastern Ukraine. Previous such strikes have injured multiple civilians, disrupted transportation, and heightened tensions in contested regions. Emergency responders continue to assist victims and investigate damage reports. The use of FPV drones marks an increasing reliance on unmanned aerial systems by Russian forces to conduct targeted strikes deep within Ukrainian-held territory, complicating defensive efforts and creating humanitarian impacts. The full residual effects of this specific attack are still being established. A Russian Fab 1500 air bomb, weighing approximately 1,500 kilograms, has been used in recent military strikes to devastating effect. The bomb is a high-explosive glide bomb, known for its destructive power and precision, often delivered from fighter jets flying beyond the effective range of most Ukrainian air defenses. Videos released by Russian military sources show Fab 1500 bombs obliterating Ukrainian troop concentrations, military facilities, and infrastructure targets. The weapon's heavy payload and precise guidance enable it to inflict massive damage on large targets such as factories, energy plants, and fortified positions. The Fab 1500's deployment marks a critical element in Russia's intensified aerial offensive aimed at disrupting Ukraine's operational capabilities. Its use in battles like those near Avdiivka has contributed to significant destruction and posed a serious challenge to Ukrainian defense systems. The bomb is part of a broader Russian strategy to leverage advanced munitions against critical enemy assets, maintaining pressure on multiple fronts through a combination of heavy airstrikes and precision targeting.